Yo, what's good, everybody, man? We had some little technical issues, but we back and we're gonna get this cracking, man. Highly anticipated. Super excited. This is Drew Sue Willie with the Right from Wrong podcast, and I have the honor and pleasure to have my boy Rashawn Dixon joining me tonight, man. How you doing, boy?
I'm good, bro.
Just living, making the best of it.
I love it, man. Well, I appreciate you making some time for me tonight, man. I know you're a busy, busy man, brother. I've known you since what, kindergarten?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Kindergarten, man. Boy,
Kindergarten,
back.
yeah, pre-K, somewhere right in there.
Yeah, I remember the little rocks and the tires wrapped around the school, man. Them little buildings, brother. So I've known this man, and this is somebody I respect for a very, very long time, man. Somebody I looked up to. Somebody we always felt. We used to make a joke about you, brother, because you stood there like I ain't gonna be here long, right? You was like, this place is not for me. I got bigger
Yeah,
and better
that
things. Man. With that being said, so last time we really spoke, man, was high school. That's been like what, 20 years almost.
Yeah,
What has
for sure.
Rashawn been up to in a small sense, real quick, since then? I mean, what do you do now, man?
Shit, a little bit of
and
everything.
uh, nah, it really do a little bit of everything, bro. Biggest thing, bro, just trying to make sure my kids get off to a great foot. Uh, that's probably like one of the biggest things I pride myself in, man, is being able to give back, kind of, build my kids up in the areas that I was, lacking or didn't understand growing up and them things. But man, outside of that, bro, always trying new things and just trying to make the best of, what's really outside.
Well, let's start off there, man. Family's obviously very important too. Very important to us as well. I mean, tell me a little about your kids. How many kids you got? You got a wifey? Like, tell me what the family look like.
Yeah, man.
Uh Married, 3 kids, got a 16-year-old, soon to be 12-year-old, and then my baby, she'll be 7 in February. So it's we a little spread out, put a little gap in between them, but
Hey,
it's good. It's different stages of life and different a lot of same activities, just everybody move a little different, but it's all good. Keep
that's
everybody going.
That's cool, man. Well, I keep up with you on Facebook, man, and I know you into motocross and bike stuff a lot, man. Is that something that all your kids are into, or just, I mean, your boy that I see in the middle getting all the sponsorships?
It's
Hey, that's something that I always was heavy on as a kid, man, and stuff I always wanted, and y- y- we got it down. No, bro, family used to ride. From me, my boy, and that's kind of where it started at, which is like me and my son. I just decided one day, like, man, we was, kind of getting into the street bike game, and like, you know what? Let's I'm gonna get some dirt bikes, bro. My kid always showed interest in them, so I started off went and bought 3 bikes one day, and got the oldest a little bit into it. She was kind of hurting my little boy at the time. He was kind of sharing the bike a little bit, and she decided she wanted to ride 4 wheelers, so we ended up with a 4 wheeler, and then we got the dirt bikes, and uh, we was always going out messing around, and my wife really didn't want much to do with it. And finally, she come out and she jumped on one of my buddy's little boy's bike, and hey man, from there the rest was history. Like it gave us something to do. We stayed outside, brought the family together. My little guy started racing, and it just kind of took off from there. And hey, my little one though, that's my hellion. She's
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah. Now she big into the bikes and all that, bro. Anything with a motor and hey, loud. She love cars. Kind of, she fall right in there. So it's that's the one to be gassing me up with everything. She, "Hey, Daddy, go faster." Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
So
hey,
she be
Joe,
getting me in
I love it.
trouble.
I love it.
Yeah.
Don't tell your mama, right? Don't tell your mama.
Yeah. Hey, mama be in the passenger seat looking at me like I'm crazy, but
I love it. I love it, man. Well, it sounds like your family of gearheads, brother. Is that something you've always been into, mechanics and motors themselves, or?
yeah, man.
I always been intrigued, bro, with how stuff worked. From motors to man, just mental, bro. Like even like as I mean us as humans and whatnot, bro. Always been just really interested in like thought process, how certain things work, what does, just biology. And bro, I was heavy into that kind of stuff just because it was something that kind of soothing. Um
Man,
Biggest thing I was kind of look at, I was trying to understand myself, bro. When I was real young, just in a real dark place, and that's what really kind of got me going on that. So I was no good with idle hands, so I like to go and take something apart and see if I can put it back together and keep it working or whatever. And if not, yeah, we keep messing with it till we figure it out. And now it was something I did on the side. Now I'm kind of in that field now for a career and whatnot. So it's kind of go hand in hand, I guess.
Well, anytime you can turn a passion into making some money, bringing your family together, dude, it's a blessing. And honestly, that's what a lot of this podcast is about, man. Like you mentioned, dark place, and I mean, a lot of people seeing this in the future won't know a lot about Carlsbad, or what we came from, or kind of the lifestyles and stuff and everything, man. It's kind of cliche in some ways and stuff. I mean, but my point with this is really just to show people that we ain't got to stay that way. I mean, our world is definitely way bigger than where we come from, right? I mean, I'm an example being in real estate now, what I'm doing now. You over there traveling all over the place. I mean, you was a trucker, right? It's what you did for quite some time,
yes, sir.
right? So I mean, you've seen the country. I mean, you've seen things. You're raising a beautiful family, man, and we're just kind of breaking those stigmas, brother. You know what I mean? What was it about the mechanics in it exactly that brought you therapy, man? I mean, what was it, the actual tinkering, or was it just being spaced out, or?
A little bit of both, but the biggest thing, bro, was knowing that I could take something that was broken and could make it work again.
Okay.
And so, I guess that's probably where the hope of the therapeutic part came in at, was just the hopes of being able to, correct myself. And
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. That's beautiful. Is there a certain type of motor you like? Well, what's your favorite kind of thing to tinker with? But I mean, there's obviously a million different kinds. You mentioned dirt bikes, maybe ATVs. We mentioned
Yeah.
semis. Like all those are way different.
I mean, yeah, in a sense, yeah, they different, but it's all one, it's kind of one all in the same, really. Man, I probably had to say, if I had a real choice, I like small engines, man. Two-stroke motors to be exact. They loud and produce quite a bit of power. So it's yeah, it's something nostalgic about hearing the two-stroke motor, man. Just listen to that thing scream up top in the revs, like
Hey, I love
it just take you back, and then the smell of the fumes from the fuel burning, and bro, it's yeah.
that's dope, man. You want to go ride? I couldn't even ride a bike till I was 23, man. I swear to God, I didn't know how to ride a bike till I was 23. I stole my first car when I was like 10, so the bike wasn't really something I was really concerned with.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I've been on anything with wheels, bro. I've been on wheels since I was, man, knee high, and that was my two youngest are the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I believe they was both 3 and rolling mobbing without training wheels. Like, my son was riding a dirt bike without training wheels before he could even ride a pedal bike, and
Wow.
my little
That made
girl
me
wasn't far
mad.
behind that.
Hey, I don't doubt that
Yeah.
at all, man. Do they do a lot of competition stuff, man? Are they into that kind of thing too as well, or they just
We
strictly
used to
out
do
there
some
having fun?
racing, bro. Now it's kind of just for fun or whatever. We used to do some racing and whatnot. What happened was we kind of started slowing down, and he got into football a little bit, and he was digging that. And bro, I've been trying to get him to play baseball forever. Ever since he was little, I'm like, bro, you're a baseball player. Like, nah. I like football. I don't like baseball. I don't like baseball. And that all came off. He played t-ball. He played t-ball one year, and bro, he hated it. He was like, "This ain't nothing like what we watched on TV. This ain't nothing what you said. It's boring." And uh, a few years ago, he was just out there playing catch with his sister, and she was like, "You probably pretty good at baseball." And it became his idea to try it out, bro. And we went out that first summer. As soon as he decided he wanted to play, hey, we went straight to the sporting goods spot, bought a glove, bat, some balls, all that good stuff. Started playing catch, and bro, the rest was kind of like history. And got him into some training and whatnot. And his first summer season, bro, it was cool, but it was terrible. But what I'm saying, it all ended up being great. That's the
Love
first
it.
time I ever watched that kid break down. And yeah, I coach a lot and all that good stuff, but it was like the first time, like, I gotta console my own kid out here, and it's not because anybody did anything. He was just frustrated with himself. And it's like, we had the conversation like, hey man, like it's gonna happen. You putting in the work and you're doing what you're supposed to do. Like as long as you're giving it your best of what you're capable of right now, it's all good. And at that moment, bro, that's when I knew when he got emotional. I knew right then and there that was his shit. And well, I chopped it up with a little bit about it, and like, hey man, you love baseball, don't you? Like, you like baseball better than football, don't you? No, I mean, I like them both, but I think I still
He
like
could have
football
tell
just a
Daddy
little.
that
Just
after
a,
that
he
first
like,
one.
yeah, he like, I like just a little bit more, And then I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. And then the end of that summer season happened, and then fall ball was coming up. She had a decision to either play fall ball or go play football in the fall. And he was like, well, you remember when you asked me if I like baseball better than football? Well, I don't think I like it more than football yet, but I'm having fun learning and getting better. And I think I might want to play fall ball instead of playing football. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. And we did that. He got moved up, man, and played with some older kids. And man, that's when it stuck. Towards the end of that season, he was like, I think I like baseball better than football. And bro, he ain't picked up a football since.
No, that's dope. Well, you said that like that was your sport, man, because Daddy was pushing it and stuff, man. Is that what you were more passionate about? Because growing up, you was just an athlete, man. You was wheels like a motherfucker, boy. You could run. Like I don't remember. That's the first thing I remember from a kid. Just you was smoking everybody out there.
Man, honestly, bro, man, honestly, man, I was always like heavy on track, bro. And then I kind of grew into hooping, and baseball was just something that I did for a while, just because I like to be active, and then I could go out there and just, run ragged. And man, it was actually Kevin Miller, bro, and my uncle Brian that got me into playing baseball. Kevin came and picked me up one day after, well, actually, my mom did his hair, and then we he's like, hey, you want to play baseball? I'm like, I ain't got no glove. Like, I ain't play baseball. And it was, just like straight to it. And me and my mom started playing catch or whatever, bro. And it just, I had a good time. And, kind of from there. But as I got older and I actually realized, bro, like, man, I let the shit out the game of baseball, bro. Like, I should have played more of it. And, bro, like, it's a sport that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're always progressing. It's always getting better. And it's like, it's a sport of finesse, man, and it is, bro. It's one of I say it's probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest sport to play, bro. Um,
It's the only sport where you can fail 70% of the time and still be a Hall of Famer.
straight up, bro. 'Cause, I mean, it's the beauty about it is, man, is for me is, bro. The game is one pitch at a time, dog. Like anything can happen in one pitch. Like it's one pitch at a time. And for nine, you know what I'm saying, for 9 innings, like it's beautiful, man. Like when it come together, bro. So I mean, it teaches you a lot about patience. And, when you're young, all you want to see is the highlight shit with all the,
Okay.
the home runs, the grand slams, and all that good stuff. But it's the other stuff that you kind of take for granted. Like, oh man, this game is boring. It's like it's 1-0, and we're in the seventh inning. Like this is lame. This is boring, But as you get older, man, you start to like I say, you understand the finesse and the perfection, bro, and what it took to get there. Like it's a beautiful sport.
The subtleties can really make the difference in a game like that, man. They really can, right? Like, uh, they are definitely way more strategic and tactical, right? There's a lot more to it in that sense. Patience is. I like the way you brought that up, man. The patience aspect of it, because I think that was my biggest thing. I'm down to play baseball. I'm not a fan of watching on TV though. I will watch it in person all day. Like I will sit there in the sun and watch it in person all day. I don't care who's playing. I don't know nothing about but I love to watch it for some reason, right? The skill it takes for one just to throw and catch the way they do in the speeds. I mean, some of the hops and the fluidity of the way you got to
Yes.
move to get some of these plays off, right? And the agility is one thing, and then it's combined with power, um, because you got to be able to move right. And I mean, timing's everything with this guy, boy. I love that, man. Um, you touched on a couple things I kind of want to go back over, man. Obviously, your mother was a huge influence in your life, right? Right. I love that fact. And you said that she was playing catch with you, man. Can you kind of tell us what kind of impact those things, because that's different than a regular mother, right? A mom takes care of her children as she's supposed to, right? And there was obviously no doubt about that. But to see, hear you say your mom was going out there playing with you and playing catch and stuff, I couldn't get my mom to show up at a baseball game if I fucking paid her myself, right? Like, you know what I mean? So kind of tell us what that kind of impact that had on you. I mean, especially when you mentioned that you just had to console your own son in kind of the same types of ways.
Man,
Uh, whew, that's a
I
yeah,
told you he was
that's a
tough.
hey, yeah, nah, it's all good, bro. Honestly, man, yeah, bro, my mom was everything growing up, man.
man,
I don't even know where to begin with that. Like, uh,
Didn't
you
really put
know,
you on.
she was nah, it's all good, bro. Hey, man, like, honest to God, bro, my mom was a baller, bro. My mom was an athlete.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
something that's kind of inherited in the family. And man, she's super competitive, and
Okay.
so that's kind of where I
No,
feel
that
that's
makes
probably where a lot of my driving, shit come from. And man, just always seeing my mom always striving for something better, bro. Like, and I picked up along the years, bro. It's like, I'm kind of deviating a little, but it's
no.
like,
Actually, that right there, man, is what's perfect, right? You got striving for more, right? Because, like I said, there's a lot of good mothers out there. You had a good mother. You had a great mother, right?
yeah,
An amazing mother, right? But what was kind of interesting to me is that you touched on it yourself. You took it to another level, right? You explained to us how the type of person she was, the competitiveness, the drive and stuff. I mean, it's one thing to take care of your family, and that gets traded on, right? We both know where
oh
we
yeah,
come from, working at the mines. I mean, doing working for the city. It's respectable and stuff. I mean, but they don't want no more. They're happy with it,
yeah,
right?
bro.
And that's what I respect about you, man. Is that you're not only doing that for yourself, but you're showing an example for your kids as that well too. And that's why I asked about your moms, because to me, it had to come from somewhere, right? It's obviously in you, but if it's not nurtured, if it's not, you know what I mean, taken care of and pushed, it's not going to go nowhere. It becomes stagnant. You are anything but stagnant.
Hey, man,
you know what though? Hey, bro, it's not being stagnant, but you do hit a plateau in times, and that's the shit that I used to struggle with. I mean, right, I used to be able to pick up anything and just, and if what it was worth, be good at it, like whatever, riding a pedal bike or skateboard, rollerblades, whatever, hooping, all that good shit, bro. And it's like second nature, but it comes to a point to where I used to quit a lot of shit because I would get bored with it. Like, I would kind of plateau, and it's like, well, if I ain't really progressing nothing else, like, man, this shit's boring. Like, and man, my little cousin Delano, he the one that I said, it's my little bro. Like, he the one that he's like, one day he's like, man, you good at all this stuff, but why don't you stick with it? Like, why do you stop? And then one day he's like, man, just imagine where think about where you could be if you would have just stayed with it or whatever. And it's like,
this shit made me feel some type
a
of way.
way to hear that from my younger family. It's like, man, like,
Bro, like, why do I?
why? And it's like, man, I never really knew. And then later on in life, I kind of figured that out, bro. It's because, you know,
We do a lot of uphill. You know what I'm saying? And
once we reach the top of this hill, bro, and it flattens out for a minute, we
feel like that's it.
like there ain't nothing else. And then usually on the backside, I mean, I do a lot of hiking and whatnot, but bro, when you hike up to the top of something, you're like, oh, bro, I'm almost there. Like, let's get it. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. You make it to the top, and then when that motherfucker plateau, it's cool for a minute because you're a little tired, you're a little worn or whatever. It's like, all right, cool, let's ride this out. And then you ride it out for so long before you start going back downhill, bro. But you go back downhill, and you can only see for, you know what I'm saying, you can only see so far, and then you're back up on the uphill climb, man. And that's just that's kind of how life is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying, we start
So it's
making progress, man. Go ahead.
no, no. I love what you're saying with that, man, because I think we have that in common in a lot of ways. I'm the same way. And I don't take it as cocky. I'm just good at what the fuck I do. Anything it is, right? If I put my mind to it, I'm gonna be good at it. And if I
Yeah,
don't put my mind to it, if I gotta be challenged, I'm probably gonna be good at it. I think that has a lot to do with the way we were brought up, with the challenges we had to face, and the way we just kind of took it in stride, right? Um,
so
but again, that goes to the point of that wanting more. You know what I mean? And that kind of that extra that we passion for. So for me, man, I'm the same way. I should have been a rapper. I mean, like I should have been, Scarface for when I was in that world of it. I was supposed to have been valedictorian when I was in elementary because I was the smartest kid forever. I mean, but
Yeah,
if I didn't have a purpose, I needed purpose behind it. Once the initial like challenge and the shiny object syndrome was gone, if there's no purpose behind it no more, there was no fun in it, right? There was no drive for it because I know I'm already good at it. What am I doing this for anymore? Like, let's go on to the next thing. And for me, I had no family really to push me with that sense. I mean, so what's I love to see beautiful is like you might not have felt like you felt some kind of way when they said that to you, right? But I feel like your purpose is your family, right? And so I don't feel like you have really lost anything or potential wise because you're a simple, humble man, but you got it good still, right? I mean, that's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? But your family is your purpose to me, right? So you're still growing, you're still being the same person. You know what I mean? Because if you had focused on a specific task or a specific journey, let's say basketball or baseball, whatever the case may be, that would have more than likely set you on a different trajectory than what you've been at right now. You know what I mean? Obviously would have. You know what I mean? But for somebody like you who obviously has family that means so much to him, it probably was the right path for you, my friend. You
yeah,
know?
bro.
You know, it's funny you kind of say that because, man, I thought that stuff I was doing in high school, like it's a lot of shit I didn't know, man. I didn't know how to really sell myself and all that good stuff, and uh, single parent household, bro, and like, man, my mom was always there, but then again, man, my mom, she wasn't there because she was always
Yeah.
having to work, to provide and so forth. So it's like, man, there was a lot of games and stuff that that she missed and so forth, and I never, what I'm saying, I never held that against her or anything because
No.
I knew she was doing something else for the greater good. Uh, hey, but when she was there, shit, everybody in the gym knew she was there. So, that's what it's about, bro. And I when I first left that area, man, I went to San Antonio for a little while, and I ended up out here in Idaho, bro, and I was, hooping and working out and all that good stuff, man. And man, one day it just snapped, bro. Like I don't even want to do this no more. Like I'm like this ain't what I'm feeling. But I didn't know what I wanted out of life, and to be honest, man, just keep it real. Like I didn't want life in general, bro. Like I say, man, some dark times, and
No, yeah, feel free,
it's
brother, because that's what I meant. Same thing, man. I only brought that up because I was the same, right? If I could be amazing, I could solve everybody's problems, but the moment the problems were solved and I no longer felt like I was needed, I felt like my purpose was done, and I would begin to self-destruct.
Yeah,
Right? I never hurt anybody else, but I would self-destruct myself, and then I would have to start over again, and over and over. I understand what you're saying, man. So feel free.
oh yeah. So yeah, bro.
I kind of let that go, and then it's like, well, fuck, I ain't got sports no more. Like, what else do I got? I mean, that was kind of that false sense of identity. Like, oh yeah, hey, he's an athlete. He's an athlete. Well, bro, ain't nobody checking for a 19, 20-year-old, and you know what I'm saying. You're not playing school ball. You ain't, what I'm saying, no scholarship, all this, whatever. So it's like you start finding out, man. Like the world really don't give a fuck about you, and ain't nobody coming to save you, man. And uh just lost, like, hey, and still, battling childhood trauma and so forth, man, and just, yeah, man, my own worst enemy. But
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
yeah, when yeah, you say if you feel like there ain't no purpose or something to it or whatever, like, bro, I'm not even with it. And I'm for what it's worth, I'm fairly, easygoing, fairly simple, but man, it's there's a lot of man, it's complex in simplicity, bro. But the average don't understand that.
No,
And
you have a different kind of hunger inside you, man, and it's not based on a stature or a like level of game and such. It's more of an experience, more of a tackling life to me. In my what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing.
what I yeah, man, start understanding that, bro, life is so much more than the repetition of living in fucking yesterday. Like, I mean, yeah, me and my wife had a good conversation about that. Like, you think about it, bro. Everybody living the past every fucking day. Like, you get up with your routine, you go to work, routine, you come home, routine.
What are you doing with the rest of your time?
And
It's like, oh, I'm
tired, or oh, I'm a this, I'm a that, and it's like, bro, everybody, the song, everybody working for the weekend, like, bro, that's what it become to. And then when the weekend come, people doing the same old shit, like, oh, I work all the time, so I need to have a drink. Oh, I work all the time, I need to do this, and it's like, that's not even fucking living, man. Like, there's so much more out there in the world, bro, and it's I was and now everybody's all about the solidarity and that good shit, and they want to follow on the trend, bro. Like, I was cool with myself, way before that shit was cool. And
Mm.
yeah, it sounds kind of cliche, but whatever. Uh,
No, it ain't cliche if it's
that's
true,
where,
man.
bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where that's where I felt the best at, bro. Like, when I was young, man. It might not really look like it to everybody else, bro, but I was super addicted to fucking depression. And yeah, the bullshit clinical diagnosis, bipolar depressive and yada yada yada. Like, bro, like, how the fuck can y'all even? And then you get older, like, so you start believing shit. It's like, I get a little older, and it's like, bro, how can I make these statements and shit on people? Like, everybody go through emotions, and unfortunately, sometimes some of us learn how to live there, and that's where we function at, kind of like a functioning alcoholic, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I functioned well in depression, and I didn't know the middle in between. I was either, what I'm saying, happy as shit and just, hey, yeah, let's get it, let's conquer the world, or it's like, man, fuck everybody, leave me alone. Like, and when I was in that, bro, like, I was kind of a bully growing up, man, especially like elementary, some of that shit kind of rolling into junior high, and I wanted the whole world just to feel, to it's probably a cry for help more than anything, but it's like, man, I wanted everybody else in the world to feel the fucking wrath, bro. Like, I hated life, man. Uh,
No,
I mean, like
dude,
I say,
I understand you completely, man. Because honestly, the way you put that, addicted to depression, I love the way you put that. Because for so long, I felt like the only way I could really excel and I was at my best was under pressure, under extreme scrutiny, under, I mean, just the worst conditions, and my back against the wall when I had to fight for my life. And
yeah,
whatever reason, when I was in that position, I fucking excelled. I would just destroy everything in my path, and I felt amazing on top of the world, right? And it felt like when I was in a good mood, I was almost scared to be that way because I didn't feel like I had the same power in me. Like I wasn't the
yeah,
same person. Like it was my identity. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for
Like
sure.
that anger and that rage was the only way I could be my best, right? Like you said, instead of finding that middle ground and finding peace, understanding that's just a part of me and it wasn't all of me. You know what I
They
mean?
say, you always hear that, you always hear stupid shit like, oh, hey, it's either sink or swim, it's either sink or swim. Well, hey, motherfucker, I'm not doing either, bro. Both of them take energy. I'm learning how to float. And you know what I'm saying? Learning how to float, man, that's hey, I'm a swim when I got to, and guess what? I'm gonna get low when I got to. But in
Yep.
the meantime, I'm gonna sit right here and ride this bitch out. That's that, hey, floating, that's that plateau that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta learn how to find comfort or I shouldn't say comfort, we gotta learn how to accept that. And that's something I didn't for the longest, bro. And I'm still working at it. But
I think
Yeah,
appreciating that moment is what we're trying to get right. It's just appreciating that plateau and accepting it for what it is, and not feeling like I'm gonna fall or I got more to go, or just living in that moment, like you're saying, right? Like just
see,
really
and
appreciate it.
yeah, that's the hey man, that's the problem with the addiction to wanting more is you get to a point to where shit ain't never good enough. Like, nah, man, like, I could do better. I could do better. I could do better. And you live like that for so long, bro. Like, you really don't value anything, and it's you become overly hard on yourself, and it's like, bro, like, okay, you did this, but that still ain't shit. Like, we still got so much more to go. Rather than it's like, hey, you know what? Like, man, I'm way further than what I was last year. But you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, I'm and I did I'm man, I'm learning that right now. That's something that I'm becoming, cool with, is like, all right, cool. Like, here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm trying to go, or here's what I'm working towards. But as of right now, I'm right here, which is a lot further than, what I'm saying, yesterday. And that's you know, it kind of becomes part of the new purpose, bro. Like every day has, you know, purpose, meaning, whatever. But it's what it means to me and not nobody else. And that's the shit that I'm cool with, bro. Like I know you done heard this. They say and it should always happen whenever you in a bad spot, or somebody, you know what I'm saying, somebody do you wrong, whatever. Hey, everybody want to be like, oh bro, that's you know, hey, ain't nobody gonna do for you like you. And you know what I'm saying, yada yada yada. But hey, why they only want to tell you that shit when you know what I'm saying, going through hard times or whatever. And the thing what I realized with that, bro, was I think that shit on both ends. That go both ways, man. Like,
Yes.
don't nobody, you know
Yes.
what I'm saying, nobody's ever gonna do for you like you. Then why is everybody
Mm-mm.
out here looking for false accolades and waiting for everybody else to clap for them and shit? Because I can tell you right now, ain't nobody gonna celebrate you like you celebrate yourself. So whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, like, oh, hey, I went this whole week without smoking cigarettes. Like, okay, man, I'd be shit to somebody else, but you, that's probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this took everything in me to make this 1 week. Like, man, celebrate for yourself. Like, celebrate yourself, because at the end of the day, shit, I walk around with me 24/7, 365. So I'm my own biggest fucking hype man. Like,
Let's go.
hey, no, you know, hey, I'll tell anybody, bro, no disrespect to anybody, but I'm the greatest motherfucker living that I know. Like, and that's, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
Let's go. I've kind of made an alteration to one of DMX's quotes, man. They asked him something about loyalty, right? He's talking about dogs, and it breaks off into trust people to be who they are, right?
yeah,
No
most
matter
definitely.
what, find people, trust people to be who they are, and accept that and love that, right? I mean, it
Yeah,
took me a long
most
time
definitely.
to do what?
Most definitely treat them accordingly. Somebody
Yeah,
show you who they
exactly.
is, you know, then hey, you accept it, and that's how you associate with them. And if that's something that you can't do, hey, keep it pushing.
Like where I was going with that was that I trust myself to be myself now too, right? I know who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I embrace my flaws, and I made them my triumphs now. Because if I can still be where I am with my smile after all this shit, my little baby flaws and shit, you got nothing to complain about, man. I don't want to hear your sad story, right? Like I got no sympathy for that, and I got respect for the ones that go overcome that, right? Because you should feel that way. I am the baddest motherfucker on the planet after what I went through. We all should feel that way, right? And that's why I wanted you on this thing, man, because I wanted you to express these things, man. I learned a lot about you. We got a lot more in common than even I thought. Other than just the basic stereotypical shit. You know what I mean? On some way deeper levels.
Man, the one thing that everybody in this world got in common is, bro, it may not have been the same, but man, bro, we all know pain. That's one thing that we all know. Everybody in their life done dealt with some type of pain, bro, and that's
Mm.
one thing that we have in common. Um, but you gotta watch out, because people know how to, you know what I'm saying? People know how to they know how to manipulate you with that. You know, the same shit that you got to learn how to get away from shit. It's like, hey, you remember back then when we was, you know, whoop 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 and this and that, and it's like they want to take you back to a place because that, hey, in my opinion, well, in my life, that's where real bonds happen at, bro. Is when you're able to be vulnerable with somebody. That's where a real bond is created. But a lot of people want to use that vulnerability and take you back to those places, you know, for their personal gain. And that's the shit that you gotta watch out for, because like I heard this shit, bro, and they speak about lifeguards. Um, I ain't never been no big swimmer, but they speak about lifeguards, man, and they stated that at some point in time, you know, being a lifeguard, like you may have to knock out the person that you're trying to save, because hey man, that person might kill the both of y'all. So I
Yeah,
mean,
panicking. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
at best, you might be able to save yourself. Uh, and I kind of took that literal, bro, because that ties into life, man. Like I become real selfish. Like, well, I am selfish, man. But
Selfish is the
hey,
word.
man,
Selfish is the word.
I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm selfish with my time, my energy, and but, bro, like, I'm selfless as shit. And
as you should be.
Yeah, you know.
I think
because
for people like us, man, I think it's a fine. We're natural born leaders, whether we want to be or not, flat out, right? That's just what it is. Whether you intend to be or whether it's from a distance and stuff like that, people watch you, they respect what you're doing, stuff, right? With that being said, it's you're right about the vulnerability thing, but in order for us to change and kind of grow and help the next generation, we have to be able to show a certain level of vulnerability. But that's a double-edged sword because, like you said, I mean, you have to be able to own it and be so comfortable with yourself that you can show that vulnerability. And even if they try to attack it, it doesn't affect you. We're your peace, right? And it's difficult as shit.
it is in the beginning, but once again, once you find value within self, bro, it's not. It's simple, and that's the problem, man. That's the problem. So many people are worried about another motherfucker's opinion. It's like I don't give a shit about nobody's opinion because at best, these motherfuckers might like themselves at best, and
I love me. I
you
love
damn
me
straight.
now.
So
After
you know what
everything
I'm saying? How
happened,
could that's and I mean that's kind of what it becomes, man. And so that's that's part of my purpose, whatever. I get like I feel that's part of my purpose in life, bro. Like one thing I like, I'm probably the most, I'm probably the biggest. I'm an introvert, bro, but I'm an extrovert. Like I fucking hate people. I don't, I guess they can take it how they
I
want
know
to
what you
take it,
got. You good? You
you know what
good?
I'm saying? Like, uh, I could be cool with everybody, bro, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
You
open,
deserve to
man.
be selfish. You deserve to be selfish with your time because you're the type of person that's going to give away a piece of yourself to everybody that you come across with them bonds and stuff, man. You're not a simple person. You know what I mean? So you deserve to be selfish. You deserve to cut these motherfuckers off because they don't deserve you. You know what I mean? That's what I learned about myself. They don't deserve my time. I don't. It don't matter how what we did in the past and shit like that. If you ain't growing no more, then you dead. You know what I mean? I love you. I wish the best for you. No hate. I mean, but like, I gotta keep moving. I can't stay here with you with that. I'll be here when you want to catch up, but if not, then I'll see you around. I mean, it's just what it is.
You got, hey, at that point, you're gonna have to learn how to close that gap. Like, you got to come up here where I'm at, because if I go back down to where you at, man, I lose. And hey, man, way too much work. To man, I done put in way too much work, bro. Mentally and personally, and I'm not talking about with a job and the financial and all that other shit, bro. But hey man, I spent a lot of time working on me, and I had to start looking myself, bro, and like, and it stopped like, hey, I want to blame everything. Oh well, man, my life is fucked up, or this because my dad didn't do this, or so and so didn't do this, and it's always somebody else. And man, you gotta like, hey, the best thing anybody can do for themselves, bro, is to look in the mirror and learn how to call themselves out on their own bullshit. And it's like people tell me like, oh man, you so hard, like you a little bit too hard on them. It's like, bro, if y'all think I'm hard on everybody else, y'all have no fucking idea how hard I am on myself. Like, and the thing is okay, hey, bro, we all go through hard times. We all need help at some point in time. It's just a part of paying dues. But you're not gonna call me all the time with the same sob ass story, and
Oh
it's like,
God,
oh
you
man, I
ain't
need to,
something
bro.
about
Oh, I'm
it,
just,
bitch.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. Like, hey, don't call me complaining about shit that you ain't willing to change. Like, if you ain't willing to change it, then it's sounding to me you just like to complain. But a lot of people get on that shit, man. They get addicted to that, and the thing is, bro, it's like a full time job. Like they don't people don't understand it. They be like, bro, I don't understand how these cats don't want to grow up, or they're comfortable with calling and they hit you with the sob story, then they got the palms out. It's like, but
It's,
the thing is, hey, you tell me what's any different than that than being a fucking telemarketer? You know what I'm saying? You call 10 people, and two out of ten answer or feel some kind of way, so they shoot some money as or whatever it is you know what I'm saying, that you begging for or you asking for, whatever. They shoot some shit your way. Well, guess what? That was a successful day. Like you know what I'm saying? So what's any different than somebody calling you selling some shit over the phone? It's a job, and bro, like I got to the point where I tell people all the time, like, I'm fucking broke. I'm broke, bro. Like, man, I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids that's up and coming. Like, what do I look like giving a grown ass adult something that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, my kids are growing into. Like, it's nah, man, because I don't know how much time I got left.
I think accountability and awareness are two things that are not preached enough, and just in general as children. You know what I mean? And a lot of that comes from, like you said, the way you're brought up has a lot to do with it, right? But your reaction to the way you're brought up, whether it's spoiled or it's rough, has that a direct reflection on how you're going to treat the rest of your life. You know what I mean? It's not going to go one way or the other because your ass is stuck where you're at. You're used to it, right? It's just it's kind of sad to see people get so stagnant with their nonsense, and you said they don't want to grow. It's just continuously going in the same circles and shit, and bitching about the same things over and over, not willing to do anything about it, and then they want to keep you right there with them. I mean, it sucks to let so many people go.
Oh, hey, man, hey, shit, I don't find nothing sad about it, man. I'll cut a motherfucker off with the quickness, and I don't need no explanation, no nothing. I just stop answering the call, or I don't show up, or it is what it is. Uh, but
Hey, I ain't spoke to my own mom in 7 years, bro. Believe me, I keep my peace.
by all means, by all means, that's hey, if that's what is needed to do to sustain where you at, where you headed, then you know, I'm not gonna set myself up for failure. So, and even
No.
with that, man, like, hey, that's however you want to take that too, because like, hey, man, people like they don't want to do something new because they're afraid to fail. It's like, well, how many times does anybody actually get shit right on the first try? You know what I'm saying? So it's hey, fail, first attempt in learning. So I mean, do something with it. It's like, but my mom always told us the only shit that you fail out is the things that you never try. So
Yeah.
man, hey man, all I ever known was going for broke.
Well, with that being said, dude, I think people get spoiled, and there's a bad connotation on the word fail itself, right? Because like you said, you got to fail to do something. You tying the shoes, walking, eating, drinking. Since a baby, you are failing from the day you are born to the day you die. You are failing, right? But the only
Yeah,
difference is we're growing at the same time. That's the misconception to me, right? How many times do you fall before you know how to walk, right? How many times do you fuck up your knots before you know how to tie 'em, right? I mean, button up your clothes, you tie your shoes. I mean, wash your dishes, anything. We are failing every single day at everything. And instead of being proud of it, we're taught to be ashamed of it. I mean, instead of learning to grow from it and teach the next so that they can feel it's something different, you mean so that we can all grow as a society. I mean, we're told to be embarrassed about it, so we're just ashamed, and now everybody's in the same ugly cycle, feeling the same shit over and over. Instead of talking to each other and accepting it, you know what I mean, and telling them, hey, this is what I did wrong. Maybe you shouldn't do it.
man, people are afraid to show. People are what do they say? People are afraid to show weakness. Like,
Yeah,
hey, what is being weak, bro? Like, by holding back all your emotions and so forth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, hey, bro, that's the weakest shit you could ever do, because hey, I'm gonna let mine out. I'm not faking shit for nobody. Like, if this is what I feel, this is what I feel, and guess what? Hey, either get winning or get lost. Like, man, so you know, with that, bro, it's the end. Hey, I used to say the same dumb shit. Like, oh man, my biggest fear in life is failure. Like, I'm afraid to fail. Bullshit. I wasn't afraid to fail, bro. I was afraid to succeed because I don't know shit about that other side.
yeah. I wasn't supposed to have nothing,
You know what I'm saying?
right? So what's failure gonna do? Take something I didn't have? Like, you know what I mean?
So
With all that said, man, let me ask you something. What does Rashawn have planned for his future, man? Obviously, you're never gonna stop. You're never stop growing, man. What's next for you? What do you plan to do with yourself, right? Whether it's hobby or goal, career. I mean, your kids are obviously your biggest in your family, right? But a person like you is never gonna stop. So I got a feeling there's probably some things you got in your mind, you got planned in the future, or you would like to attempt soon. Or I see the smiles.
yeah, bro. Hey, so one small thing. Well, yeah, one small thing that I'm on right now, bro, is I decided a few days ago, I started hiking, and we do a little bit of that. Uh,
Bro, I'm about to bang out
100 miles. My I guess like a little short term goal I got lined out is I'm looking at just to basically hike 100 miles before the end of the year. Um, I'm already pushing. Well, I shouldn't say I'm like me and my wife. We're pushing roughly 49 miles right now, and that's in like 5 hikes. Uh,
Damn.
so
you
Let's
know,
go.
that's kind of one thing there. Man, outside of that, bro,
Whatever
all over the
falls on your
place.
plate, huh?
Pretty much whatever catches my eye at this point. Like just hey, I try to stay active, bro. Try a little bit of everything because what I'm saying, you never know what's gonna be your niche and what might take off. Like so, I'm open, man. See, I
actually,
do a couple of, and I think about it, bro. I got two things that's on my list right now too. Outside of that, bro, I'm looking at skydiving and base jumping, bro. Uh, yeah, yeah. I got a partner that's locked in with that, bro. And hey, it's yeah, it looked like a real good time.
I'm getting more there, man. Like I'm not. I like adrenaline. I love adrenaline, right? But I don't know. I think if I had time to think about it, I would puss out. But if I was like, let's just do it, I would jump out that motherfucker without hesitation. Like my girl, she can't wait to do all kinds of shit, boy. She's 130 on I-10 type motherfucker, boy, in her little Scion with her radar, right? So she's in a adrenaline junkie like fuck. I mean, she
yeah,
got me on my first roller coaster. I mean, so
yeah.
I went on my first roller coaster and went off 5 more that same day. So if that tells you anything about how I am.
Hey, it be like that, but hey, man, those are the
Really, bro.
uh facing things that what I'm saying that scare you or whatever, man. In my journey, bro, I've learned that making it to the other side of that, bro, has impacted my life tremendously
Yeah.
in the way that I maneuver through this mug. Like, uh, so yeah, man, uh fuck it. Well, I mean, if I think it's something I want to do, bro, I'm gonna do it scared, and you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it gets easier with time. So, but I'm gonna ride this motherfucker till the wheels fall out, bro. Like, yeah,
The way I look at it, man, I should have been dead, whether it's from drugs, whether it was from shootings, whether it was from whatever the fuck case may be, man. I should have been locked up. I dodged so many bullets in real terms and fake terms, metaphorical terms, man. That the fact that I'm here, I'm just happy to be alive, man. Every day that comes to me is just a blessing, and I think it surprises people sometimes because they be like, the world be falling apart around me. I'm like, bro, I used to have to go to bed with a gun under my pillow, a couch in front of my door, and worry about the feds coming to get me. My biggest problem now is that I lose a deal in real estate. Like you don't understand how blessed I am, man, just to be doing this. I want to take every adventure I can. Let me taste every new food. Let me take every ride I can. Like it's what life's about, man. Bigger than the
That's
block. It's bigger.
yeah.
yeah, bro. Because I mean, hey, it's hard as hell breaking. It's hard as hell breaking, old habits, and that's the thing. Like, so yeah, man, I definitely commend you on that, bro, making the change and what I'm saying, doing something productive, positive, bro. And I mean, giving back with that. It's somebody else, what I'm saying, you can speak to, with your story and so forth. That man, it's so many young cats out there that's in that same type of predicament or something close to that. That what I'm saying, they don't think there is any other way. I don't know any other way because everybody is fucking selfish, kind of doing their own thing, bro. And a couple things like my whole life changed, bro, when I stopped trying to dig into psychology to understand and fix me and understand me. I was selfish in that way. And once I finally just started opening up to the world, bro, and telling my, what I'm saying, kind of telling my story and so forth. Because at the end of the day, it's my own fucking movie. So, what I'm saying, you could either play the victim or the victor, bro, and I ain't no fucking loser. So,
Let's
you know what I'm
let's
saying?
go.
Hey, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't been through some shit. Who hasn't? But the thing is, man, I'm still pushing forward. Like in this, big difference between motion and progress. And I'm making fucking progress. Anybody can walk in place.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, bro.
I
So,
like.
but you talked about the near death experiences and those things, bro. And I had some of those encounters. But the one that really shook up my world the most, man, and don't really nobody know a whole lot about that, bro. But there was a couple of times, but the first time was probably one of the roughest. But shit, man, like I chase adrenaline that much more these days, bro, because I was given another opportunity on life. I try to take my own life, man, and I failed at that. So being depressed and all the other good shit,
I'm
bro.
bro.
I shot a second round at it, and that ain't go through neither. But
Damn, brother. I appreciate you telling me that, man. You're telling us that, man. I can't even express how glad I am there to be able to have this conversation with you right now, man. For real.
yeah, man. Jacoby actually, bro, stayed at my house one night. My mom was gone out of town for medical reasons and depression, bro. And then I just kind of made like, fuck it, I'm done. Like I don't want to do this no more. Like fuck life. And that's what it was. Well, Jacoby happened to show up, man, and uh caught me in a bad spot, and thought I was just gonna take a bunch of shit and kind of just OD on it or whatever. Well, bro, it made me sicker than fuck. And I was, hey, when you make certain decisions and you do things, and then you soon learn to come to regret them because it ain't happening like to make the shit look in the movie, bro. Like, and
He went the wrong
it's
way, boy.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Oh,
it's yeah, bro. So I mean, I'm shit, man, living on obviously living on borrowed time, but try to make the best of it, bro. And I think that's probably like one of the biggest reasons why I am the way I am with my family and my children. And uh like like I say, I coach sports, all that good stuff, bro. And I'm super involved with the youth in the community and whatnot, man. And that's the reason why, bro, because people want to sell this fucking facade all the time, like, oh, work hard, get a great education, do this, do that, yada yada yada. Everybody want to tell you what to do and they ain't doing shit themselves. So I'm living everything I speak about.
church.
But outside of that, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here with them. They running, I'm running. Like, I'm no bigger than you. I learned a lot of shit from my kids, and ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Like, oh yeah, yeah, this little young motherfucker ain't gonna teach me. Like, yeah, bro, they will,
Hell yeah,
and
they would.
it's I look at it as one day they're gonna have to take care of me, and what better way to show them? But not only that, within my household, man, like I don't hide shit from my kids. My kids know that I've done some things and I've been to jail and we've had hard times. I've been homeless, countless shit. And I don't tell them that to, what I'm saying, try to sound like some great hero or nothing, but I tell them things because man, life is hard, bro. You never know where you're gonna end up. But one thing, you know what I'm saying, one thing's for certain, two things for sure is like if you keep on, bro, like it's you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. Uh my Aunt Lisa, man, I was one night having a hard time out here. And bro, I was ready to end it. I was ready to off myself. And at least I thought. And she said it's a whole lot easier to struggle than it is to completely give up. I think about that shit all the time. It's a whole lot easier to struggle than it is to completely give up.
bro, because completely
Giving up, you might as well die. Like you're
That's
no longer doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's the deal, bro. Everybody's going through a daily struggle. And it's easier to keep doing the same old shit, going through the same motion than it is just to lay there and die. Like, bro, I'm not rolling over. So
it's
it didn't hit me at the time until I really started thinking about it a little later on. But
yeah,
well, I mean, it's like you're putting it, man. If screaming you want to give up is really just a cry for help at that point, the way you're describing it, right? Because you don't want to give up. It's just you wanting to, but you don't know how to quit struggling either. It's almost like that you're stuck. I mean, that progression in motion was a beautiful line. I fucking love that line.
I mean, and that's where we end up, man. Like I say, so I wasn't afraid of failure, bro. I was afraid of success because I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't brought up around no millionaires or none of that shit. So, it's like everybody has the aspirations and the things of wanting that, but when it comes to putting the work in and once you actually have it, look how many motherfuckers is broke. Like they didn't know what to do with it. So that's things that I've, along my years, man, I've done learned a lot more about credit and plenty of other things, that I kick the information up and down. I'll get a shit to anybody because there's plenty enough for all of us to eat. Shit, I tell
Hell
you
yeah.
exactly how you know what I'm saying. Tell you exactly how I'm gonna do it, and don't care if you mimic the same thing. Because at the end of the day, you ain't me, and you ain't gonna do it how I do it. Like, yeah, so you know what I'm saying. It's but you know what I'm saying, man. Hey, I'm
bro.
I remember times, bro, going into the gas station and shit, or you walk into the store and somebody be, happy go lucky, like, oh, hey, good morning. It's a beautiful morning outside. Like, the fuck it is. Fuck you on. Like, anybody ain't feeling this. Like, and you know what I'm saying? I wasn't on that type of energy, bro. My energy was real negative. And
man, I decided made it
to
to
the for what it's worth, I'd have made it to the other side. Yeah, I still go through hard times. I still struggle. I still go back and forth. I'm human. But
I'm not
kicking it with that kind of shit no more. Uh, man, it's elevated. Like the train of thought, man. Just the I'm a free thinker, bro, and no one's gonna take that from me. Like,
Love that about you, man. Love that about you. And
so
that's what this is all about. This whole podcast is what this is, man. Because I come from you can have a base kind of world or whatever. It doesn't matter what you come from, man. It's how you react to things, right? And that's why I decided to head this route with the podcast. Like with real estate, man, it's a really weird world for me. Really weird world for me because I actually found real estate by accident. I was facing distribution charges. I tell everyone, every dope boy wanted to be a rapper. Every rapper wanted to be a dope boy. I was an actual dope boy, and
yeah,
I could speak, right? So I was learning how. I didn't want to just be, a rapper on stage and stuff like that. I wanted synchronizing rights. I wanted publishing rights. I wanted copyrights. I wanted the real business side of it. So long story short, I'm preparing for a show. I'm doing my own merchandise, printing up my own shirts and stuff. And this YouTube commercial comes on about real estate wholesaling. Normally I hit, skip like everybody do on YouTube because I'm on university and I'm trying to learn. And I had to sit there and listen. My hands were full. I couldn't touch my phone at the time, and it changed my life. Right? I understood that I was already taking what I was learning as far as supply and demand, hustling, negotiating, and understanding the market, and I could just apply it to something that was legit, something that was literally creating wealth for generations. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And when I first started, imposter syndrome was one of the biggest things that I had to deal with because I knew my brain understood the process. I know how to talk, right? I knew what to do and stuff, but I felt like I didn't belong because where I came from. I looked on Facebook and you see YouTube and all this. I mean, the internet, you see these pictures like this and motherfuckers in suits and shit. And that's not me. That's not me at all in any sense. But as I learned and grew, I understood that that no longer mattered. And this really did, especially when I'm on the phone because I can conversate with these people and I can negotiate and make it make sense like nobody else could. You know what I mean? So now, like you said, giving it up and down, I'm obviously giving it back to the lower generation, to the younger generation, not lower, younger, because I want to change that stigma. I don't want them to have to go through what I went through. If I can teach you how to wholesale at 19 instead of fucking selling dope like I was, I'd rather do that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And on that same token, I got bankers and loan officers and doctors and shit on my line doing Zooms just like this, asking me for advice now on what to do with their money. How do they strategize on what properties to go after, what markets, how do I pitch? Can you please call my seller for me? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what this podcast is all about. It's what exactly what you're saying, man. It's we are changing these stigmas and these things, man. It's you chose one path, I chose another, but at the end of the day, we found peace, man. We
Yes.
are setting examples. I mean, I love that. I love you for that, brother. For
Yes.
real, for real. I mean, I'm
Most
truly grateful for the time you spent with me tonight. You know, I knew I was going to learn more about you. I've always considered you a friend, even though we were never super close. It was just, I always like there was like kind of a mutual understanding connection. You know what I mean? That we
Yeah.
kind of had. You know what I mean? And we all, I don't talk to nobody from school. I don't fucking like them, to be honest, majority of them. And if you listen to this, you're from school and you took offense to that, it was meant for you, right? Because straight up. Oh, real
yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Because on the other side of that, man, I got people that was who was shunning me or like judging me and shit and everything, and now they're like, "Oh, I want to learn what you doing. Can you teach me what you doing?" Like, I hate punching my fucking clock now. I don't want to listen to this guy tell me what to do no more. Can I do like you? You know what I mean? And I love that about you, dude, because even though you work, like you set your own standards, bro. You live life on your terms. I got nothing but love for that, bro.
Oh
Like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? You could have been a victim, like you said, a lot of time, but you came out victorious on this shit a lot. And so that's why I wanted you on this podcast, brother, because I wanted you to tell the story about yourself and let people see both sides of it. Because on the outside, man, if somebody just met you right now and they see your life, they're like, this motherfucker had it easy. This motherfucker had it good. I mean, like, that's going to be the perception most people are going to have from. They don't know what you came from, what you had to go through. I mean, it has nothing to do with finances either. I mean, it's just about life,
Bro,
mental struggle.
that's still, hey
And
man.
that's still even now, bro. People like bro, I ride around every day in a 1992 F350, bro. And I love the shit out that truck. And yeah, the new shit look cool, whatever, but fuck I want that for? Like yeah, sure, but what do I want that for, man? Because at the end of the day, I don't need a status symbol in my fucking driveway, bro. Like, and people like say, hey, people like to look at your life from the outside and oh, oh, that must be nice. What's nice? Getting up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and busting your ass every day, and then you still hustling, doing shit on the side to have to make a legitimate living. You go
Yeah,
work 14, 16 hours and then still turn around and go coach ball practice and go to ball games and all the right, bro. Don't tell me about what's nice. The thing is learn how to manage your fucking time. You got the same 24 hours in a day that I got. And
hurts.
what you do with yours, that's you know what I'm saying? Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. Neither do your feelings. So but
Exactly. That's what I said about them
yeah,
motherfuckers a minute ago.
yeah, man. It's but everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to look from the outside and don't even know what the fuck going on inside the castle walls, man. Like that's hey, people don't know what it takes to maintain certain shit or whatever else, but shit look appealing. And man, I'm I don't believe in being comfortable, bro. Like ain't shit sweet about being in comfort. There's no growth in that. So
You
it's
stagnant. You die.
yeah, bro. I'm learning how to become content in not so hard about on myself about certain things or whatever. I'm like okay, hey, this is cool. Like man, all right, I did that. Now it's keep pushing, but I'm learning how to be proud of the shit that I have. Like and
Appreciate
at
it,
the end
man.
of
When you
it,
stop comparing
yeah,
and stop worrying about, like you said, worried about others' opinions, and that's what again, this is all about, man. Because I want to show people my successes. I want to show people how much I've changed and how much grow and how much I have accomplished in all my time. I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of it because I shouldn't have accomplished it. But at the same token, I'm not just going to show that. I want to show this side of it too. The times that okay, my grandpa had a revolver. My dumb ass put the bullet in the wrong side. So when I pulled the trigger at 6 years old, it went the opposite direction. Right, I was six. I was already hating myself that much. I hated life that I hated to go home. I was scared to go home. There was nothing fighting and dope and everything all around me. Right,
Yeah.
so, and when they show nothing but the successes and status symbols, they don't get to see that side of it, man. What it took to get through that part of it. Because to me, it's more important to show that side of it. Because there's more people like us that are going through that shit that need somebody like us to show them that you can get through it than there are, gurus with the vet in the driveway. I mean, or I made $4 million just off Bitcoin or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. But bro, I mean, and that's why the rest of that's why the stuff that you're doing, man. That's why it's falling into place like it's falling into place because at the end of the day, once you keep it real with yourself and you set a certain standard, a code for yourself, and you know what I'm saying, you live by that, bro. Like energy, you ain't gotta say shit, bro. Like people gravitate towards energy, and hey, if somebody, if you not recharging my energy, or you know what I'm saying, hey, just like the electric company, I'm about to charge that ass. Like, so run me my money, run me
hey,
my money, bro.
hey, just kidding. No, I do though, but that's just a joke, bro. No, I gotta drop a picture. But man, no, I'm gonna let you go soon here, man. I truly appreciate this, man. And I think we are gonna have to have a part two.
Yeah,
That was a joke
definitely,
earlier,
bro.
but hey, this
Hey,
is
I
fun, man. I definitely loved it. There's a reason I didn't reach out a whole lot when I got your number because I wanted to do this for the world. You know what I mean? But I definitely know we're gonna be staying in touch, man. I've always considered you a friend, man, and somewhat family, especially now more after this connection. I know you're not the kind of person to open up to people. So to me, it's an honor and a privilege to let you tell me your story, to say things that I know you haven't told
appreciate it.
people.
Hey, and this, hey, to be honest with you, bro, I'm a lot more open than what people think. I just don't do I don't do the social media shit like that. Like I post a little bit here and there. I used to, I went through my phase where I was, always dropping some lines or something on there or whatever, and just, you know what I'm saying? And it is, I don't say shit to, try to be no philosopher or nothing like that, bro. Like my deal is just to get a motherfucker thinking. Like it's, I look at one thing and turn around and think 100 different ways about it. Like, but you know what I'm saying? I take what's for me and what I don't feel, you know what I'm saying? It's close to my heart, and I just kind of let it go. But it's yeah, bro. If anybody want to know anything, all they gotta do is ask, man. I'm it's
I love that.
I'm not too closeted. So,
My job is
but
to
I
put people like you on blast, brother. To put people out there. I mean, like you, because you're not that kind of person, but I am. I'm that motherfucker's gonna jump on stage with the mic and talk to everybody for 14 hours straight. You know what I mean? I'm walking along with every goddamn number, and I might not like one person I spoke to, right? But at the same token, I might find one person in that group that makes a relationship and a bond, right? So that's what I mean. You got knowledge, brother. You're not a philosopher, you say, but you dropping real knowledge. You dropping real game. I knew you would. I knew you was gonna say things that I was gonna learn from. Just like you said, man. That motion and progress. You're gonna see that bitch soon on Facebook. Promise you.
yeah,
So,
man.
oh, I give you the credit for it too. But that's what this is about, man. You deserve to be acknowledged for what you've been through and what you've accomplished. I mean, and you deserve to be put on a pedestal to show other people the same thing, man. Like that's, in my opinion, that's how I felt. That's why I asked you to be here. So again, thank you, man. I'm about to let you go here in a second, but would you like to say
Appreciate
anything
it.
else before we try to end that? I mean, before part two coming soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, just hey, man, learning. You know what I'm saying? I guess the biggest thing I could leave, man, is just hey, if you're going through some shit, it's all temporary, man. Just decipher between what you feel and what's real. And that's what done got me through, man. Is getting away from all that the extra emotions, because man, that should have seen you down a spiral real quick and, and leave your ass stuck with no suitcase. So, you know,
Already, already,
yeah,
already,
yeah,
man.
man, just like I said, to feel what you feel, go through it, man. But at the end of the day, we got to keep it moving. Look for a solution, because
Find the bunnies, y'all. Y'all know me. Find the bunnies.
yeah,
Bunnies, find
yeah,
the bunnies. You know what it is. Well, you know what, y'all, man. It's an honor and pleasure, Sean. Thank you so much. This has been the Right from Wrong podcast. We've all done some right. We've all done some wrong. But at the end of the day, we need to get right. Okay. We love you guys, man. You know what it is. Good night.